got another little tool tip. It's a tool tip. Little tool project. Other little tool pouch. I use oblong punches when I punch holes for my belts. At least most of the time I do. So I'll punch an oblong hole. And I like the oblong holes a lot because, especially in a double layer belt that gets pretty thick, you know, they're almost 1/4 of an inch thick. It kind of, well, the buckle kind of lays kind of funny in there. So I'll use these. This is a Craftool number 09 1/4 inch oblong punch, or yeah, oval punch. And it just punches that hole in there, and it makes it so nice that, well, it just makes it nice. Makes that buckle lay down nice. Makes the belt lay a little better. Right in front, where it kind of counts, where people see it. So, I just made a pouch to put them. They've been kind of rolling around my toolbox, and that's not necessarily good for the tools. So, check it out. We're going to make it. I got this piece of leather. Just something, I don't remember why, but it wasn't working out for what I was going to use it for. So, I'm going to, I don't remember what I was doing with it. It was a pocket for a bag, I think. And it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So I went ahead and remade the pocket. I think I might have cut one of my grooves here a little too deep. But regardless, I think I'm just going to do something different with it. So, rather than chuck it, I'm going to, it's not long enough to do what I want this way. It could be, but I'd have to add a flap to it, and I want to protect these punches is what I want to do. I went through all the work to clean them up nice and everything, and just want to be able to protect them. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. I'm going to cut this off because I don't necessarily need that. And that's going to turn into my straight, nice square edge to use, I do believe. I'm just going to go from there. Now this was going to be a pleated pocket, so I have some grooves cut in here that facilitate folding it. So that might work out okay. If I leave it, it leaves me about 3/4 of an inch down there. And I can leave it that way. That's not going to hurt anything, of course. And it doesn't matter. It's just a tool pouch. So it can be there or it cannot be there. These punches, of course, aren't that long. I've got a 5, 7, and a 9. So they'll fit in here pretty nice. Make sure that my edges are going to be kind of square here. At least kind of square. Just so everything kind of works out okay. I actually did a pretty good job there. So if I at least use one of those creases, one of those grooves to make my fold, I'll be in pretty good shape. So I can punch a stitch line up there. How deep does that leave me? I certainly don't need to go that deep. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm just kind of winging this one. I just want to protect these punches. I don't want them to get dinged up or anything. I don't need to leave everything showing here, so I don't need to worry about that. And I want to leave a strap so that I can just tuck the flap in. Like this one, I didn't leave anywhere to tuck this flap in. It just kind of lays there. Which I could do the same here, but I think I want to leave a tuck it in kind of deal. So I'm going to figure I'll stick that in there and decide how much I want sticking out. Probably about there. This leather mark's pretty nice, so I can just leave a mark in it. Right about there. I'll go ahead and cut that off. Actually, I'll hang on to that piece because that'll make a nice closure. So there we go, we got that. That'll close up like that. Leave a little bit of the tool hanging up. That'll look good. I'm not going to worry about the top right now. I'm going to run a stitch line up the side here. Just kind of mark that off. I've got my 5mm chisel out. I'm just going to kind of hold it in place. Nothing fancy. But I'm not going to punch into my cutting mat. Down and dirty. We're just going to knock this thing out, get it through. Today I'm having a bad arthritis day, so that's why I'm not doing anything too critical. I kind of figured out some measurements. I need about 1 1/8 inches for my next one, and then 1 1/4 inches, and I think 1 3/8 inches for the biggest one. I was kind of guesstimating some of those, but I'm pretty close, I'm sure. That's from stitch line to stitch line. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 1 1/8 inches. I'll just start that next one. I better actually draw a straight line down there, I'm going to get crooked. The stitch and chisel is the 5mm one that was kind of messed up when Weaver sent me those 4mm chisels. I had the one that was 5mm. I just thought I'd just use that. I think it'll be just right for this task. At the top I'm leaving one tine hang off the edge, just so I can get that good binding stitch down at the top. This will have tools sliding in and out of it all the time, so I want to make sure that it's good and solid up on the top. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and run these 4 stitch lines and I'll be back. Before I started stitching over here, I want to run a strap across here to be able to close this. So I figured I better cut my strap, punch some holes in it so that when I do, I can at least stitch that in over here, and then I'll do the same on the other side when I get there. That way I'll be able to have it all together, get it stitched in there right away. So there you go. I'm ready to start stitching it. I'm going to start at the bottom though. I don't know if I want to maybe add another hole or two. I probably don't need to. I could probably add a couple more holes, but I'm not gonna. I'm good with it. It's a quick throw together kind of deal anyway. You're almost getting it in live time here, so. I'm just going to hold this to stitch it. No big deal. I'm not going to make you watch me do it though. So I'll cut you off. Bring you back later. Get it all stitched up. Get my strap across. All I got to do is cut it off. Oh, for that we'll grab my square. And I want to come over. I think I got about an 1/8-ish. Yeah, 3/16 maybe. So we'll come over about the same here. Make a little tick mark. That should have us pretty straight. Grab one of my steel rulers here. Put it up against my square. Should give me a straight cut. And I'm just gonna just like that. I probably could have taken a little bit more, but I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to put the punches in here. I left this, I had to remember to stitch this in. I stitched all this down and forgot to put the strap in. And when I got over here, I stitched it all down and forgot to put the strap in. So I had to cut it all apart and put the strap in. So now I'm just gonna, you don't want to push on the ends here if you can avoid it, because you could get hurt. Safety first, always. Get that piece out of my way. So I've got it set for my quarter, 7/32, and then the 3/16 will go on the very end. Just like that. I want to kind of get an idea how far down that's going to go. And I think I'm just going to cut, since I have skived that, I'm just going to cut that skive off and kind of round my corners a little bit. And I'll probably be in pretty good shape. So let's get that done. Again, I'm just going to use my square. We'll take our punches out of there now that we know that they're all going to fit just nice. I really love the pull-up of this leather. It really looks nice. I'm not going to keep those little pieces. So there's that, and when I had these in here, if I just kind of go down this way, I can pretty much cut that off. Let's go in about 3/4 of an inch. I gotta find a body to put these in so I can make that a little bit nicer. A little easier to use anyway. And then I'm just going to come right from the top, go right down here. I'll measure that on the edge. And I just want to measure it so that I'm consistent. I'm just going to come right from this crease here that I've already got cut in there, which is just shy of 4 inches. And that worked out perfect. Must have measured pretty good when I cut that in there. And we'll start just by making a straight cut between the two marks. And I could just leave it at that. That'll just tuck in down there. But I think I'm going to round that out a little bit. This leather punches so nice and easy. And down on the corner here, I'm just gonna, for some reason that blade just doesn't quite sit in there right. Just gonna kind of trim that just a little bit, take the sharp edge off it. My corners look pretty good. Now we can put the tools in there for the last time. And there. There we go. Another down and dirty little tool pouch. Just got to keep our tools protected. We don't want them to get ruined by any means. So there you go. Little quickie video. Well, I don't know how quickie it is, but little quick tool pouch. Make one for yourself. I may do a bigger one to put my C.S. Osborne punches in because I really hate those nylon punches or nylon ones. And I probably will do another one for my Odin punches because these plastic ones don't usually last very long. But there you go. So, y'all stay safe. God bless. And make yourself a tool pouch.